Hello traders, it's your one and only forex coach Tim Legend, and I'm super excited having you all here today on this one. Alright guys, you know how we do it here on this channel. Alright, I take your request and I use it to create whatever you desire. Now here's a request that I've been getting lately from different traders who's been asking, Tim, can you please make a video on volatility index 75 using support and resistance to analyze the markets? All right, so today in this video guys, after the end of this video, you're going to learn how to use support and resistance to analyze the volatility index 75 markets. And don't get it twisted, you can actually use it to analyze any markets. I'm going to teach you a whole lot of things that you really need to know about support and resistance, and at the end of the day you would see yourself trading the markets using support and resistance like a pro. So if this is your first time on my channel, you want to do me a little favor, smash the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on. It's very important that you turn that bell on because that bell enables you get notification the moment that Tim Legend releases a new video right here in the Bullish Bear FX. Okay guys, let's get started. Okay, today guys, this is Vix75 as you requested. Now when you want to use support and resistance to analyze the markets, you know, there is this thing I always tell my students. When it comes to support and resistance, okay, you can plot support and resistance anywhere in the market because there's a lot of supports, there's a lot of resistance. Now what is support and what is resistance? As you all already know, unless maybe for those who are new to trading, support simply means a certain level where price goes down and finds a level that pushes it back to the upside. Okay, that pushes it back to the upside. Therefore, this level where price found that zone that pushed it back to the upside is known as support. Okay, now when we talk about that vice versa, we also should understand that any zone that price ends up finding on the upside that pushes a moving market, a market that was moving to the upside, and pushes it back down, then that zone is called resistance. So that is to say, supports are usually down and resistance are usually up. Okay, so resistance is going to push price from up to down, while support is going to push market from down to where? Up, right? Good. So I use one simple illustrations all the time for my students, and I tell them, look, support and resistance is like you having a house. Okay, just draw it all out. You have a house. Okay, on that in that house, okay, so this is a house, all right? So now in this house, if we take a ball, all right, if we take a ball from here and bounce the ball to the ground, what happens? The ball goes back up. Am I communicating? If I am communicating, please comment yes, you're communicating. Now the ball bounces back straight up to where? To the roof, right? When it gets to the roof, what does the ball do? It goes back down. Now when you bounce this ball to the downside, it simply means it has found support to shoot back up, and when it goes back up, it finds resistance to go back down. It simply means this ball really wanted to pass through and break through going up, but it found resistance here, and that's why it went back deep down. It simply means the ball wanted to go straight down, but what happened? It found support here and bounced back up. That's a simple illustration when we talk about support and resistance. Okay, so right now we want to use this support and resistance of a thing to analyze the market because we understand how the market moves. The market moves in supply and demands. Okay, the market moves going to the upside finds resistance, bounces back to the downside, finds support, bounce back to the upside. And we want to take advantage of that. That is to say, when price gets to resistance and it's bouncing back to the downside, we want to look for entries from the upside, right? So that we can sell. While price is bouncing back to the downside, we sell along. And while price is bouncing back to the upside, we buy along. That is the reason why we actually use supports and resistance in the markets. Now you understand the idea, or if you really understood that idea right now, please comment I understood the idea. Now, so we're gonna plot our supports and resistance to so that we can know areas where we should look for entries in the markets. Now, but remember what I told you earlier. I told you that there are lots of supports and there are lots of resistance in the markets. Therefore, if you begin to plot out support and resistance like one who's a beginner, you might likely soil your entire chart with so much support, so much resistance. For instance, let's play a little game here right now. Now here I see resistance. All right, I see supports, I see resistance here and there and everywhere. All right, I will show you what I'm doing by the time that I'm done. Just relax and make sure you're watching to the very end so that you would understand the entire logic of support and resistance, so that at the end of the day, trader, you should be looking at the market in another dimension. Okay, yeah. All right, so I'm bringing out another support. I'm looking for another support area. Okay, I see another area here. All right, let's just be done with this one. Now, I have so much lines everywhere. Like, man, where do I even take a trade from? How do I even know how I'm gonna take my trades? You understand? Because I have so much lines everywhere. So in this case, it could be so confusing sometimes. And to prevent such kind of confusion, all you want to do is to plot out your supports and resistance from key levels or from strong foundations. If you haven't watched that video where I talked about foundation, you really need to watch it so you understand what I mean by market foundation. All right, and also there's a video that I made some time ago where I talked about strength and weakness of support and resistance. That video is really going to help you a lot, as a lot of people who watched it have been testifying about it, and you too need to watch it and learn. Okay, so right now when we talk about support and resistance, you always want to look for those areas where we have at least 2 to 3 or even more touches, and you confirm that as support or resistance. For instance, we have here to be a resisted area, we have here a second resistant area, and we have here a third resisted area. That means that this is actually a good resistance zone. For if we try to scroll back down, we're going to still see that there are actually times when price found support and found so many other resistance in the zone. So this is actually a cool zone as resistance. And if we look below here, we can actually call here support, because price supported here in the past, supported here again in the past, 2 touches, right? And that means that's a good support zone. Okay, let's see if we can find another. This is support here, right? Let's see. We see price also supported here, is also a good support zone. But by the time you start looking at the entire chart like this, you just end up having all your chart full of lines, and that doesn't make you look professional. You want to trade like a pro, you have to analyze like a pro. So now that we've talked about how the layman or the beginners analyze their charts, now let's talk about how professionals actually analyze their charts and have clean charts in order to be able to look for good and clean entries. So I'm going to delete every single thing. Okay, please, you want to do me a little favor, please go straight to the description below, and the very first link there is my Telegram channel. Please endeavor to hit that link and join us on Telegram, because you're going to be learning quite a lot from me. Very soon I'll be posting quite a lot of things that you guys don't want to miss out. All right, so you want to make sure that you join us on Telegram and stay tuned. All right, so how do the big boys or the professionals actually plot out supports and resistance in the market and yet have a clean chart to look for good entries? How do they do it? Now, they do it with a simple technique that I call a very simple technique that I call key levels or key zones or strong foundations. Okay, you want to look for only nothing else but those zones that pushes market very high or very low. Those are the zones you want to take as confirmed or approved support or resistance zone. Number one here. All right, here right here we have here to be a very strong support zone. Why do I say so? I say so because here really pushed market very high to the upside. Okay, very high to the upside. And here also, when price came back here to prove that it's really a strong zone, you can see how it still pushed market very high again. Wow, this is a very strong support zone. And do you know what that means? That means, trader, let me give you an expo. That means whenever price comes back here in the nearest future, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen? I'll leave that for you guys. Comment below. What do you think will happen when price comes back down here? Is it gonna break out or is it gonna push higher? Let me know on the comment section. I want to see those my traders who really understand what the market really does. Okay, so here is an approved support level. Now let's look for an approved resistance level, and that is here. Boom. Why do I approve it to be a strong resistance level? Look the way he pushed market deep down. Look the way he pushed market deep down. Come on. Now this is one thing a lot of people don't tell you that you need to know now. The more touches you have on a support or a resistance zone, the more weak that zone becomes. I hope you understood that. The more touches a price gives to a certain support or resistance zone, the more that support or resistance zone becomes even weaker. Okay, because if I give a little illustration, which I always give my students, in a city where you have a very big gate, no one can enter this gate because anyone who enters can the city and kill the people there, right? Now you have the soldiers standing here, the opposite soldier, the opponents, right? What do they do to the gate? The first of all, they push, boom, right? They go back, support, push, and get resisted by the gate. They get support, push, 2 touches, right? They get support, push, 3 touches. They get support, push, 4 touches. Come on. Now, what do you think is happening to this gate? Gradually, as they're hitting and hitting, what's happening? Comment it on the comment section. I want to make sure you understand what I'm doing here. What do you think is happening to this gate? The more they hit the gate, what's happening? Is it getting stronger or is it getting weaker? I'll leave that for you to comment on the comment section. So that is exactly what happens to support and resistance. The more touches you have on support levels or on resistance levels, the more that zone becomes weaker. So you don't want to say, oh, he touched here, he touched here, he touched 10 times. I mean, this is a strong zone. Just know that zone is getting weaker, because when price comes back to it, come on, something stupid is going to happen. And that is why you always notice things like this. That's why you always notice things like this. You see this fake out. This was actually a resistance zone. But why? How come this fake out? This fake out occurred. Why? Because if you look at the past, you will see how price have played prank around this zone, hit it up and down and up and down and up and down, and the zone is kind of like, man, I'm tired of this shit. You get it? And that is why you see all this kind of fake outs. Now people would think, oh, it's broken out, let's buy, only to see the sell. So you need to be careful about things like this so that you don't fall prey to fake outs. All right, so you've got to understand that the more touches you have on supports or resistance levels, the more it becomes weaker. Now what you need is to understand the logic behind supports and resistance. So right now, let us analyze our market officially. You ready? Let's go. So we have support here, we have support here, we have resistance here already. This is the 1 hour chart. Now let's head straight to 30-minute charts. Now in the 30-minute chart, we already have even more we have a clearer chart, so we can see more things happening. Now we have resistance here, boom. Okay, we have resistance here because we can see clearly the price is really seriously resisting on this level. Okay, so for those who love to scalp, you only want to look for selling opportunities if this price comes back and hits this zone. You only want to look for selling opportunities to the downside. And if you want to buy, you only want to look for buying opportunities when price hits this zone as support to the upside. Do not make a mistake seeing price at this zone right now and you want to buy immediately or you want to sell. This is a moving train. All right, you don't want to jump in front of a moving train. Let price get to that resistance before you place a sell, or let it get to the support before you place a buy. Do not buy markets on the middle of the move, okay, because you don't know where it's going to. This is actually for scalpers, all right, those who want to scalp overbought and oversold. That's what I'm giving you guys. If not on the norms, if you are a trend trader, I don't ever advise you to place any trade, because this is actually a ranging market. This market is critically ranging right now, and that causes indecision in the market. You don't know where they want to go, so you want to be careful. Stay out of the market if you are a trend trader. But if you're a scalper, you already know what to do, y'all. Okay, so now we have a support, we have a resistance, and now all we just want to do is to look for entries, right? And I've told you that your entry levels will only have to be when price gets to resistance. Only then you want to sell. Right now, if you want to take this kind of entry right now, the price is currently on this zone, and you want to be, and you are a trend trader, this is what I would advise you to do. Should I tell you? Comment on the comment section. Tell me. All right, okay, so I will tell you what you do at this zone right now. What you want to do is to wait, nothing else but wait. As a trend trader, I'm not talking about scalping right now, I'm talking about trend traders. All you want to do is wait, and while you're waiting, this is only what you want to see. First of all, as a trend trader, you want to trend along with the trend, right? So the market currently is on a downtrend, as you can see clearly. All right, so we only want to look for selling opportunities. Price is on a downtrend. So let's go back to the time frame where we came from, 15-minute time frame. So we only want to look for selling opportunities, and that means that we only want to sell when price gets to this resistance level here, okay? Or we want to see price come out of this range, break out of this range, all right, break out of this support level that we've got here. The support level that we've got here, when price breaks out of it, you only want to sell at least when you see a breakout or a retest. Look for your selling opportunity to the downside. That's what you want to do as a trend trader. So you want to wait, nothing else but waiting. Just wait. Come on, you don't want to be in a haste, all right? Just wait for price to come out of this indecision, this range, this confusion, this noise, okay? Because this is nothing else but noise, waves everywhere. Only scalpers know how to do this shit, but trend traders is really gonna be difficult for them. So you don't want to mess around with this. So that's just how you use support and resistance to analyze your market. So you just want to look for those zones that pushes market very high and spot it out as your real support or real resistance level. That's just what you want to do. So here in 15-minute time frame, let's say we want to spot out even more support or resistance level. Here is another support level. Yeah, because what can we see here? We can see clearly that this zone, when price came from here, all the way from here, and bounced here, what happened? This zone was really pushed and straight up to the upside, very high. So this is also a strong support level in the 15-minute time frame. So you've got to understand that every single time frame have their supports and resistance, their strong supports and their strong resistance levels. Okay, now for instance, if you look at this right now, looking from here, if you look from here to here right now, you notice that it didn't push market deep down, right? Yeah, that's what you're gonna say. But do you know that if you go to the 5-minute time frame right now, where I have that arrow, okay, that's it. Do you know that in the 5-minute time frame, this really pushed deep, very deep? So this is for you to understand that every single time frame have their strong supports and their strong resistance levels. All right, so it all depends on the time frame you're looking at or the time frame you're analyzing from. So I always advise my students, you can always start from the 4-hour chart. Some people love to start from daily time frame. Not is not a bad idea. Okay, so you can actually start from the daily time frame to analyze and look for your support, your strong supports and your strong resistance levels. Okay, so the only way you can analyze your market and not have your lines every single place in your chart is for you to only look out for nothing else but strong supports and strong resistance levels in the markets, and that's the way you'll be able to have a cleaner chart. Right now I have a very clean chart from the 5-minute time frame. All I need to do is nothing else but just stay calm and wait and watch what market really is going to be doing. I'm waiting for nothing else but a breakout from this noisy background. All right, and then I'll look for my entries. So I hope you guys really understood the things that I've taught here today. If you really understood, please comment I understand. And if you want me to make another video and what you want me to talk about, please go straight to the description below, hit the link that says request a video, and let me know what you want me to talk about in my next video, and I'll be very happy to do that for you guys. You know I love you all, and all we want to do is nothing else but to keep winning. For the meantime, stay safe, keep winning.